Hi guys, it's Christine here with my second Bible journaling process video for you. Today I'm going to be using a combination of stickers from Doodlebug and also stamping and watercolor twist pencils from SRM stickers. So I'm starting off with, I knew exactly which verse I wanted to do. So I started off making a list of what I had stamps for already and what I needed letters for. And so as you can see, I'm starting off with letters, and I'm using the teensy type letters from Doodlebug. And I'm kind of running low on them. So as you can see, I'm piecing together, like my W there, I used some pieces from the letter V instead of a full-blown W. And then I pulled out some of my stamps from SRM stickers and am adding those. And then I'm gonna use a new stamp set. These are the bigger type ones. They're actually called the big stamp set line. And I haven't used that Grace before, so I'm stamping it on the side, and then I'm going to add it in there where I want it. And then switch out to my next word. I love that in the SRM stickers stamp sets they have things like an ampersand, so you can make some of your verses up a little bit easier and your journaling a little easier. Back now to the teensy type letters from Doodlebug. And as you can see, I am adding capitals, I'm adding small letters. I'm not really too concerned about mixing and matching. It's kind of the point in Bible journaling, is that it has an artsy feel to it, and so I just go with what I've got, and in the end it all comes together to look good. Matching colors, of course, that helps too. And I love stickers because if you're not happy with your placement, you can always pull them up and move them around a little bit. I tend to do that more than I probably should admit. If you ever watch one of my scrapbooking layout process videos, you'll see that I am constantly moving stickers around, and to the point that sometimes I have to add adhesive to them because I change my mind. So now we're going to get into several stamps again. SRM just released in July 13 new Bible journaling stamps, so there are tons of options for you. And I am totally mixing and matching them in this one. I'm using ones from that are called The Lord Is, and I'm also using some from The Lord Is My Light. And obviously I said I was using some of the big stamps. She's got tons of options for you now, including lots of doodling stamps that come with those stamp sets. So you'll be seeing that in just a minute here. So I'm nearly done with my verse. I wanted to add Christ on the end after Jesus, but I couldn't make it work with the letters that I had, and so you're gonna see I end up just leaving it at the Lord of our Lord Jesus. So why did I choose this verse this week? Well, this verse I actually picked out with my kids and my husband. We are homeschooling our kids this year, and we had decided our reason for homeschooling was because we wanted to make sure that our kids were growing in the knowledge of our Lord, and we knew that if they were being taught by us, that was going to be the best way to do it. So together as a family, we picked out a verse, and we decided this was going to be it. So I decided to go ahead and do a journaling piece on it that I can hang up in our kitchen or wherever I need that reminder that it is worth it to be battling the kids some days, and my why behind doing it. As you can see, here I go again. I'm moving stickers. I wasn't happy with how they were centered on the page, knowing what I was planning to do with stamping here in a minute, so I decided to go ahead and change it a little bit. And then you're gonna see I'm thinking through, okay, am I done? Yeah. And I decided, yes, okay, I'm happy with that placement, so we're gonna go ahead and start adding in some flower stamping. Now the look I was going for here is really the adult coloring book. The books that are everywhere now, from big box stores to craft stores to just even I've seen them in gas stations and stuff. The coloring craze is huge, and I like to use my stamps to try and recreate that. Doesn't have to be from a book. If you've got some stamps that are colorable and a black stamp pad, you can do it really easily. So I'm stamping all around. I started with my biggest stamp first, and as you can see, I went over the edges. Doing that makes the design flow better. Some of them are full on the paper, but as you can see, most of them weren't. And I'm going to just surround my whole verse. I'm using 4 different flowers, a mixture of the large one and smaller, and then even some medium-sized ones. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Where does it look like there needs to be some, and where does it fit too? Because they don't all fit exactly in the same way. The little ones, of course, going last makes it easy to plug them in where there's some clear design space needed. And then I did decide to pull out actually a star one that comes from the Lord is My Light set. It's a star, but I mean, stars can kind of look like flowers, right? Especially when they're little tiny ones like that. And so I added those in just as a little, again, space filler. And then as I'm looking at it, I had been kind of thinking through my color scheme. I decided I wanted to try definitely some yellows and some blues and some oranges. And then as I go, I'll kind of decide if I want to add more to that. But so I'm filling in the yellow centers right now with a watercolor twist pencil. These pencils are new to SRM stickers, and they're really cool because they work great for coloring. You add a little punch right in the middle, and then you get out a blending pen and just fill it in even more. It softens the look a little bit, but it also stretches out those colors. And I did that. I filled the center of those big flowers in and some of the medium flowers. And then now I'm going to go in and add some orange in. And I just filled in the whole flower with these. I filled it in, and then I'm going to go in with my blending pen and spread it out. Doesn't take a lot of color for your blending pen to work really well with these. And if you find it's not enough color, you just go back in and add a little more. You'll see I do that in a few different spots. I really wanted a kind of a unique color combination with the colors I was going for. I was kind of trying to avoid pinks and purples and kind of go for a different look with the flowers. I'd seen several different pieces recently that inspired me with that color combination, and that's where my idea for that came from. So I'm filling in the big ones with like a royal blue watercolor twist pencil now, and it didn't come out quite as dark as I was envisioning. And that's okay. That just is the way it goes sometimes. You'll see as I start to do the blending, it lightens up quite a bit. So that's going to make me bring in another color you'll see here in a little bit. If you've noticed, in between my colors, I am taking my blending pen over to my scratch paper and just wiping it down basically to clean it off of the last color. I also am pretty careful about trying to go lighter colors to darker colors so that I don't go blue then to yellow. Obviously, that way kind of saves the blending pen a little bit and saves my sanity so I don't have to try and keep the colors from over mixing or anything. This blending pen is really nice, and it actually has 2 tips, so you can, if you're getting too much of a color from a previous color, then you can switch sides for a little while and clean it up. But see, right there I was cleaning it up. So now here I am considering, okay, what am I going to do about? Not quite sure. I loved that blue as much as I was hoping. So I'm going to quick add in a few more yellow spots. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch to more of a, I guess, kind of a turquoise blue. Turquoise aqua color, and I'm filling in some of those medium-sized ones. And you can see that one's quite a bit lighter, and the blending will help bring out more, but it's definitely quite a bit softer than the other blue. And these all these watercolor twist pencils come in one 12-pack, so you get a really good variety. There's even bigger packs where you can dive even further into it, but this is a really good starting point for your coloring. Now, I decided the blues weren't going exactly the direction I was hoping, so I'm adding in some red, which was not ideal with my blending pen because going from a lighter blue to a red is not so great without cleaning it real well. So I switched sides of my blending pen to the a slightly smaller tip so that I didn't get purple. And actually that worked really well. The red gives an extra pop of color that I was hoping to get and hadn't achieved yet. You can see it's come together. It looks like an adult coloring page, doesn't it? And you can't tell that I mixed and matched my stickers. And you can see it has all come together to look real nice. Now, I'm looking at it and I realize I want a little bit more, I don't know, personality. It felt like it needed some enamel dots to me, I guess. I seem to add enamel dots to everything. And so, of course, I don't want to add enamel dots to something that is not meant to be 3D. So I went with my black Le Plume marker pen, which SRM Stickers also sells. And I just added in some little dots. And I think that just added a little bit more of a punch. I just can't seem to get away from using circles and dots on my projects, so that's why I did that. I hope you've enjoyed this Bible journaling process video today. We're looking forward to seeing what you're doing with SRM's new stamps and watercolor twist pencils as well.